Alright, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. It's your brother Ainwa Zaab, aka Humble Wolf, coming out of HOI, New York, New Jersey. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all glory, and all honor unto the Most High God, Yahweh. And I do so in His Son, Hamashiach Yahushai's name, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Right, it's your brother Ainwa Zaab, aka Humble Wolf, coming back at you with another quick sit-down lesson. And the topic of this particular lesson I'm going to be bringing out today, through the Spirit and power of the Most High in Christ, is the laws were given before Moses. Right? So this is just a quick lesson to show our people that the laws were already in place even before Moses went up to Mount Sinai. Right? So we're just going to break it down through the Spirit of the Lord to show you in several different instances, several particular laws that were in place before Moses was even on the scene. Right? So let's get straight into it. I don't want to overtalk it. Like I always like to say, brothers and sisters, have your Bibles open, ready to go. Have your Apocryphas open and ready to go, right? Have a notebook, right? And have a writing device, a pen, pencil, whatever you got. Get that ready and ready to go, all right? So let's get straight into it, man. Genesis chapter 4 and verse 1. Hopefully the sound is good. You know what I'm saying? A little instrumental to, have a little background noise and all that. Genesis chapter 4 and verse 1, right? And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived, and bare Cain, and said, I have begotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. So see that? So Adam and Eve, they had two sons, Cain and Abel. The first was Cain, the second was Abel. Cain was a tiller of the ground, while Abel was a keeper of the sheep. Right? Verse 3. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock, and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering, but unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. See that? So even in the world, right, when I used to read this particular story, I was so confused. I had no idea why the Most High didn't have respect unto Cain's offering, but unto Abel's offering. Right? But when you read it with the proper context, you get that good understanding once you keep in the commandments, and once you're in the truth now, you get a better understanding of these things, right? And also through the wisdom of the Most High God that been passed down to me through my elders. So all praises, shout out to the elder Zaab and the elder Torah, man. Through their tutelage and through their knowledge and understanding of the scriptures, now I'm able to dig through the scriptures and link things up to understand what's going into now. Right, so let's go into it, man. Let's go to Exodus 22 and 9. Exodus chapter 22 and verse 9 to link that up. Salakia. Exodus 22 and 29. Right? Exodus chapter 22. In pages, man. Exodus chapter 22 and verse 29. And it reads, Thou shalt not delay to offer the first of thy ripe fruits and of thy liquors, the firstborn of thy sons thou shalt give unto me. See that? So we're supposed to give the first of what we have, right? Not just any old thing like Cain did. He just give a couple of little things of fruit. Give him a little fruit basket and let the Most High hold out. While Abel, he did it the right way. He gave the firstlings, right? The very first thing. That's what you have pertaining to the first fruits. That's what that whole feast day goes into, man. Giving the first of your crop that the Most High blesses you with, right? So it says, Exodus 22 and 29, Thou shalt not delay to offer the first of thy ripe fruits and of thy liquors. The first of thy sons shalt thou give unto me. Likewise shalt thou do with thine oxen and with thy sheep. 7 days it shall be with his dame, and on the 8th day thou shalt give it me. See, that's how the firstlings of the flock you're supposed to give. Right? Thus saith the Lord. Don't delay that thing. Right? Let's go now to Deuteronomy 15 and 19. Deuteronomy chapter 15 and verse 19. It says, all the firstling males that come out of thy herd and of thy flock shalt thou sanctify unto the Lord thy God. Thou shalt do no work with the firstling of thy bullock, nor shear the firstling of thy sheep. See that? So we have to be, that firstling, that is dedicated unto the Most High. So anything that's the first of, so the first crop that you get, the first thing that you have. So Abel did it correctly. The first sheep, the firstlings of the sheep, he gave it unto the Most High, man. Right? And that's what we have to do. And that's why Cain's offering didn't get respect. It was Abel's offering that got respect. Why? Because he did it according to the law. Right? Thus saith the Lord. You can link that up also with Numbers the 18th chapter. Right? Numbers the 18th chapter, I believe from verse 8 to about verse 17. That's another link up to show how the Most High wanted the firstlings of any crop or any cattle or herd or anything like that. Right? So that's the law of sacrifice. Abel knew about that. And who did he learn it from? He learned it from Adam. And who did Adam learn it from? Obviously the Most High God. So showing you that that particular law of sacrifice was constituted and in place even before Moses was on the scene. Right? So let's get another law that was in place before the times of Moses. In Genesis chapter 7. Genesis chapter 7 and verse 1. Genesis chapter 7 and verse 1. It says, and the Lord said unto Noah, come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by twos, the male and his female. Of fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. See that? So this is the story of Noah, telling him, look man, go into the ark because you good. Out of all this other wicked generation, you're the only one that I found to be righteous and clean. So go into that ark, prepare the ark for, like I told you to, according to the dimensions and all of that. And then once you do that, you take clean beast by 7 and unclean beast by 2s, male and female of the clean and unclean beasts. 7 of the clean, male and female, 7 male, 7 female, clean beasts. 2 male, 2 female, unclean beasts, and 7 fowls as well, of male and female, of all of the different fowls, right? But then wait a minute, hold on now. It said clean and unclean beast, right? So this is showing you even in the times of Noah that the Most High God had a certain thing where they had clean beasts and unclean beasts. There was already a distinction between clean and unclean beasts, right? So now let's get the law now. Leviticus 11, right? This is a 101, man. It should be 101 for most brothers and sisters. But if it isn't, it's still good to have that milk, man. Go over that milk time and time again, right? Let me see what I want, man. That whole Leviticus 11th chapter is the law on clean and unclean beasts. But let's get Leviticus 11 and verse 45. Start at 44. Leviticus 11 and 44. It says, for I am the Lord your God. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourselves, and ye shall be holy, for I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourselves with any manner of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. For I am the Lord that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt to be your God. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. Verse 46 is the point. This is the law of the beast, and of the fowl, and of every living creature that moveth in the waters, and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten. Right? So see that even Noah, even during the times of Noah, the Most High already showed Noah that these are the beasts that you can eat that are clean, and these are the beasts that you eat that you cannot eat that are unclean. Right? Showing you what that law of unclean and unclean beasts was already constituted even before the times of Moses. Our forefather Noah knew about that. Right? So that's showing you, man, that's clear as day. And you could link this one up as well with Deuteronomy, the 14th chapter. That's another area and place to show the law of clean and unclean beasts, right? So Genesis 7, 1 through 3 links with Leviticus, the 11th chapter. And that also links with Deuteronomy 14 from verse 3, I believe, all the way down, right? So that's the law of clean and unclean beasts before the time of Moses, right? Let's get some more. Right? Let's go to Genesis chapter 9. Genesis chapter 9. Let's get another law that was in place and in motion even before Moses stepped on the scene. Genesis chapter 9 and verse 1. Right? Genesis 9 and 1. And God blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, and upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. See, that's so before Noah, right? The people that were on the earth, we only dealt with the green herb. We never dealt with any meat of any kind, right? So now the Most High is constituting to show us that yes, now we have liberty now and license according to the Most High to eat a certain beast, right? Those clean beasts that we just read about in Leviticus, the 11th chapter, and in Deuteronomy 14th chapter, right? So now let's get into it now. Here's the point in verse 4 is what I want. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat, right? So it's saying here, yes, you can eat flesh, you can eat certain clean beasts, but those things cannot have any blood in them, right? Read that again, verse 4. Genesis 9 and 4, it says, But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat, right? So that's the law going into you have to cook your food well done. You cannot be eating blood like these other nations, man. You go to a damn steakhouse and you hearing everybody around you saying they want their thing medium rare, medium well, rare, bloody, all kind of different ways to order your steak. You gotta be that brother or sister to say, nope, well done, very well done. And the way they're gonna look at you funny, like, oh, you sure? Well done? Yes, well done. I don't want no pink in it, nothing. Everything has to be well done. Hell, even when I'm eating pizza, man, I tell them, man, I want my thing well done, right? Leave it in there a little bit longer. I want my thing well done. You go to anywhere, let that be a lesson for brothers and sisters, man. You go to your Olive Garden, your Applebee's, any other restaurant you can think of. When you go there, any kind of dish, you tell them, say, yo, I want my thing well done. I want my thing well done, right? That's what you got to do, man. So let's go now to prove that law, right? Let's go now to Leviticus chapter 17. Leviticus 17. Let me get a quick Frank and Mirror going after this particular scripture. Leviticus chapter 17 and verse 10. Leviticus 17 and 10, it says, And whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, that eateth any manner of blood, I will even set my face against that soul that eateth blood, and will cut him off from among his people. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that maketh an atonement for the soul. Verse 12. Therefore I say unto the children of Israel, no soul of you shall eat blood, neither shall any stranger that sojourneth among you eat blood. And whatsoever man there be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, which hunteth and catcheth any beast or fowl that may be eaten, he shall even pour out the blood thereof, and cover it with dust. For it is the life of all flesh, the blood of it is for the life thereof. Therefore I say unto the children of Israel, ye shall eat the blood of no manner of flesh, for the life of all flesh is the blood thereof. Whosoever eateth it shall be cut off. See that? So the Most High is very serious when it comes to that, man. He's just in that 4 verses, he said that thing at least 4 to 5 times. Don't eat no blood. You children of Israel, don't eat no blood. Don't eat no manner of flesh. Don't do that, man. Even our forefathers, man, from the times of Noah and them, Noah, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, even they were taught and directed not to eat any blood. So you Israelites that are here, that are in this truth, the Lord says don't eat any manner of blood, man. So from here on out, man, anything that you order, anything that you cook it well done, man. Cook it well done, thus saith the Lord. Right? So that's the law against eating blood. So Genesis 9 from 1 through 4 links with Leviticus 17, 10 through 14. And you could also link that with Deuteronomy chapter 12 from 23 to 25. Right? I want to make it as short as I can, so I don't want to read all these scriptures. But that's why I say make sure y'all have some pen and paper to write these things down with, so you can go over on your own, man. Right? Iron sharpeneth iron, like we got at HOI. Right? So now let's get another law. But Salaki, let me get a quick Frank and Merc going real quick, man. Get the righteous spirit up in the place. Come here, Shalom. Right? So again, this is the laws. The topic of this lesson is the laws were given before Moses. Right? The laws were given before Moses, man. So if the laws are given before Moses and the laws are still in effect today, who the hell are we to say not to keep the laws, man? When the laws were given before Moses, passed down directly from Adam through oral tradition, and now we have them in written form now to follow here today. Right? Kumer Shalom, all praises. Right? So let's continue on, man. Genesis chapter 17 and verse 9. Let's get another law. Genesis chapter 17 and verse 9. It says, and God said unto Abraham, thou shalt keep my covenant therefore, thou and thy seed after thee in their generations. This is my covenant which ye shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised, and ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant betwixt me and you. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you. Every man child in your generations, he that is born in the house, or bought with money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed. He that is born in thine house, and he that is bought with thy money, must needs be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. And the uncircumcised man child, whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from among his people. he hath broken my covenant. Right? So this is the law on circumcision, right? Now obviously you go further now in the New Testament where you talk with Paul. I believe it's in 1 Corinthians if I'm not mistaken, going into that circumcision and uncircumcision, right? That's a whole nother topic. I don't want to get too deep into that, but this is just to show you that the laws were given before Moses, right? These are one of the laws. So now let's go now to Leviticus, the 12th chapter, to show you that law is now written down and given to the children of Israel to follow going forward. Leviticus chapter 12 and verse 1. Leviticus chapter 12 and verse 1. Right? Leviticus 12 and 1, it says, And the Lord Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a woman have conceived seed and born a man child, then she shall be unclean 7 days, according to the days of the separation of her infirmity shall she be unclean. And in the 8th day the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised. See that? So Moses said that to the children of Israel, that when the woman bears a man child, 7 days, then on the 8th day, that man child is supposed to be circumcised, right? Meaning cut the foreskin of his privy member, right? And that's a covenant that the Most High gave to Abraham, right? Salakia, to Abraham, to the children of Israel going forward, right? So let's go now to Luke, the 2nd chapter, showing you that even Christ himself, even Joseph and Mary, Yahushai's parents, literal, physical, actual parents, right? Let's get that in. Even Christ, Yahushai's parents, kept that law. St. Luke 2 and 21. And when 8 days were accomplished for the circumcising of the child, his name was called Yahushai, which was so named of the angel before he was conceived in the womb. See that? So even Yahushai was circumcised according to the law of Moses, but also according to the law of the Most High, period, because it's showing you that the laws were given before Moses. So there's that misconception of the law of Moses, but the law was already in place before Moses even came on the scene, right? So now let's continue on with this. Let's go to Genesis 19 now. Genesis chapter 19. Let's get another law that was in place before Moses even stepped foot on earth. Genesis chapter 19 and verse 1. And there came 2 angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them. And he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. And he said, Behold, now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early and go on your ways. And they said, Nay, but we will abide in the street all night. See, those are the angels, man, coming to judge that wicked Sodomite area, man, Sodom, right? Lot seen them, said, look, man, come in. I see y'all, I can tell that you are holy men, right? So just come into my house and I got you in the hospitality, right? But he said, nah, man, the angel said, nah, we're going to just do our business and tarry outside all night. Verse 3. And he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him and entered into his house, and he made them a feast and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. That's another custom for the Israelites, man. We baked unleavened bread, right? Verse 4. But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, both old and young, all the people from every quarter. And they called unto Lot and said unto him, Where are the men which came in to thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. Every time I read the scripture, man, I shake my damn head, because you got to visualize this thing, man. Holy angels of the Lord come into Lot's house, and they're going to chill and, wash their feet and get them a little feast or whatever. Show them hospitality. And these wicked, evil men of Sodom, man, they come past the house, 360 the house, man, and start banging on the door. Boom, 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 boom. Yo, bring the men outside, man, so we can rape them. It's a damn shame in these last days, man. Verse 6. And Lot went out at the door unto them, and shut the door after him, and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. See that? Even Lot knew, man. Yo, what y'all doing? What y'all talk about? That's off, man. Y'all wicked as hell, right? So what is this? This is the law against homosexuality, right? No man should be, I don't want to get vulgar on my channel, man, but no man should be doing that kind of stuff. That's against God, that's against nature, that's against biology. No man should be going in the back door, man, on against another man, right? No woman should be doing that kind of business with another woman. It's off, it's evil, it's against God, it's against the Most High and His Word, it's against biology, and it's against science, man, right? Salakia. Leviticus 20 and 13. It's a damn shame, man. Leviticus 20 and 13, and it reads, If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. So if a man lay down with another man, like he's supposed to lay down with a woman, both of them, both giver and receiver, have committed a wicked abomination. They shall surely be put to death, and their blood shall be upon them. Thus saith the Lord. Right? So in these last days, man, don't be doing that kind of nastiness, man. They promote the homosexuality all over the place, but out of God's own mouth, He says do not do it. Romans 1 and 25. Because people will say, well, that's the Old Testament. Things have changed now, brother. Things have changed now, brother. That's the Old Testament. You're reading out of the Old Covenant. Let's see what the New Covenant says, or the New Testament, right? Oh, man. Romans chapter 1 and verse 25. It says, Who changed the truth of God into a lie, and worshiped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause God gave them up unto vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. See that? So women changing the natural use, going with another woman, that's against nature, thus saith the Lord, right? And it's a vile affection. Verse 27, And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one towards another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meat. See that? So even the Most High again is showing you in the New Testament that the law on homosexuality still stands. No man should be going behind another man. No woman should be going behind another woman. Right? Male and female created He them. Right? Bashim Mashiach Yahushua. So again, that's the law on homosexuality even before Moses came on earth. Right? Let's get another one. Let's get some more. Genesis chapter 20 now. Genesis chapter 20 and verse 1. Genesis chapter 20 and verse 1. And Abraham journeyed from thence towards the south country, and dwelt between Kadesh and Shur, and sojourned in Gerar. And Abraham said of Sarah his wife, She is my sister. And Abimelech king of Gerar sent and took Sarah. But God came to Abimelech in a dream by night, and said to him, Behold, thou art but a dead man, for the woman which thou hast taken, for she is a man's wife. But Abimelech had not come near her. And he said, Lord, wilt thou slay also a righteous nation? Said he not unto me, she is my sister. And she, even she herself, said, he is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and innocency of my hands have I done this. And God said unto him in a dream, Yea, I know that thou didst this in the integrity of thine heart, for I also withheld thee from sinning against me. Therefore suffered I thee not to touch her. Now therefore restore the man his wife, for he is a prophet, and he shall pray for thee, and thou shalt live. And if thou restore her not, know that thou shalt surely die, and all that are thine. See that? So this is a story of when Abraham went into the south country and sojourned in Gerar. Abimelech, the king of Gerar, sees Sarah, who was a beautiful, good-looking sister, one of our beautiful foremothers, and as the king took Sarah in and potentially want to get to know or sleep with Sarah. But before that was even done, the Most High went unto Abimelech and told him, look man, don't deal with that woman. That's a man's wife. Showing you what that is, the law against adultery, right? A man should not be laying up with another man's wife, right? That's the law in adultery. Brothers, don't be sleeping with another man's woman, man. There's plenty other women out here to deal with. Don't be Mr. Steal Your Girl, right? Don't be that brother, right? In this society, that's being pushed, though. I'll steal your girl and I'll take your B and I'll bring her back home to you and all this kind of nonsense, man. Don't be that brother. There's many other women that's available to you to have, that are single, that are willing to fall in order and fall in subjection to you, my brother. So don't deal with another man's wife, right? You sisters, man, that are married, stick with your husband, right? Stick with your husband, work it out, man. Don't be trying to go and deal with another man and telling that man, oh, I'm single and all of that, right? Lying. This is the law against adultery, right? Exodus 20 and 14, Salakia. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 14. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 14. Thou shalt not commit adultery. See that? There it is right there. And let's get Deuteronomy 5 and 18. Deuteronomy chapter 5 and verse 18. It says, neither shalt thou commit adultery, right? And I'll skip down to verse 21. Neither shalt thou desire thy neighbor's wife, neither shalt thou covet thy neighbor's house, his field, nor his manservant, or his maidservant, his ox, or his ass, or anything that is thy neighbor's. So anything that's your neighbor's, especially a man's wife, don't covet that. Don't commit adultery. Leave that man's wife alone. That's his business. That's his woman. There's many other women to deal with, brother. Don't be going after a married woman. Thus saith the Lord. So that's the law against adultery, right? And you can also link that with Genesis 39 from 7 to 9. I believe that's just, let's read that real quick as a matter of fact. Genesis 39. Yes, Khan. Genesis chapter 39 verse 7. Let's start at verse 6. This is the story of Joseph and Potiphar and Potiphar's wife, right? Genesis chapter 39 verse 6. And he left all that he had in Joseph's hand, and he knew not aught he had, save the bread which he did eat. And Joseph was a goodly person and well favored. And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, lie with me. So Potiphar's wife looked on Joseph and said, damn, that's a handsome brother, man. He know Israel, man. We the salt of the earth, man. You know what I'm saying? We got that good skin, you know, got the strong beard and all that. You know what I mean? Muscles and everything. So, you know, Potiphar's wife probably looking at Joseph like a snack. Like, damn, look at that brother. Damn, look at that brother, right? Verse 8. But he refused. See that? He was a man of the Lord. Joseph refused, right? And said unto his master's wife, behold, my master would not what is with me in thine house, and he hath committed all that he had to my hand. There is none greater in this house than I, neither have he kept back anything from me but thee, because thou art his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? See that? So even Joseph knew, man, yo, I can't be sleeping with you, man. You're a married woman, right? This is the law against adultery, and I cannot sin against my God, man, right? And see that? It said the word sin. And what is sin? The transgression of the law. And this law was in place before the times of Moses, man, right? This is the law against adultery, brothers and sisters, right? Let's continue on. Let's go now to Genesis chapter 24 and verse 3. This is Genesis chapter 24 and verse 3. It says, and I will make thee swear by the Lord, the God of heaven and the God of the earth, that thou shalt not take a wife unto my son among the daughters of the Canaanites among whom I dwell. So let me read from verse 1 to get the understanding. Genesis 24 and 1. And Abraham was old and well stricken in age, and the Lord had blessed Abraham in all things. And Abraham said unto his eldest servant of his house, that ruled over all that he had, put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh, and I will make thee swear by the Lord, the God of heaven and the God of the earth, that thou shalt not take a wife unto my son of the daughter of the Canaanites among whom I dwell, but thou shalt go unto my country and unto my kindred and take a wife unto my son Isaac. See that? So Abraham, he knew and understood the importance of the law of dealing with your own people. He knew that his bloodline rested in the hands of Isaac, and he knew the importance of dealing with a woman of your own nation. So he told his eldest servant, look, man, I'm getting old, I'm getting ready to pass on. I can't do this. You're going to be the one responsible to have my son marry a woman of my kindred, of my nation, man. Right? So that's the law against interracial marriage. So you brothers, man, y'all shouldn't be dealing with these other nations. I don't understand how other brothers can say that it's okay to be dealing with other nations, man. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible, no interracial marriage, man. You brothers, don't be dealing with these other nations. You sisters, don't be dealing with these other nations. Deuteronomy 7 and 3. Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3. Deuteronomy 7 and 3, it says, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. See that? So the Most High told Moses, man, tell the children of Israel, don't deal with these other nations, man. All these Canaanites and Zidonians and Edomites and Ishmaelites and Moabites and all these other ites, man. If it's not an Israelite, don't deal with it, right? Malachi 2 and 11. Malachi chapter 2 and verse 11. It's the law against interracial marriage. Malachi 2 and 11. It says, Judah have dealt treacherously, and an abomination is committed in Israel and in Jerusalem. For Judah hath profaned the holiness of the Lord, which he loved, and hath married the daughter of a strange god. See that? So we was doing that even during those times as well, man. Marrying these other women who had strange gods, man. That's how Solomon went off as well. You read about that in 1 Kings, the 11th chapter, where even Solomon himself, man, one of the wisest men to ever live, even he went off. Why? Because he was marrying these other nations, man, getting into their gods and getting into their belief system. So the Lord is telling us not to deal with these other nations, man. Let's get a few more, man. We're gonna wrap it up. Genesis chapter 26. I'll save that for later. Genesis 28. Genesis chapter 28. And verse 22. Genesis 28 and verse 20. Salakia. Genesis 28 and 20. It says, And Jacob vowed a vow, saying, If God be with me, and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat and raiment to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then shall the Lord be my God, and this stone which I have set for a pillar shall be God's house. And of all that thou shalt give me, I will surely give the tenth unto thee. See that? So this is if I'm not mistaken, man, this is Jacob's ladder, the dream of Jacob's ladder, right? He slept, he put his head on a rock, and he dreamt the dream of Jacob's ladder and seeing the angels going up and down the ladder, up and down into heaven. And you know, that dream just inspired him, and he realized and understood that where he was a holy place. And he says, look, man, if it's possible that I get back to my father's house, to my nation, to my area, when I get back to this place, man, I'm going to remember it and make this God's house. And whatever I have, I'm going to give a tenth of it. Showing you what? This is the law of 10%, right? That law of 10%. Or your tithes, right? That's what the word tithes goes into as well, 10%, right? Let's get a precept on this. And we also can go to Genesis 14 as well to show that as well. Let's go to Genesis chapter 14 and verse 17. Genesis chapter 14 and verse 17. It says, And the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of Chedorlaomer, and of the kings that were with him at the valley of Shaveh, which is the king's dale. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High God. And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abram of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth. And he blessed be the Most High God, which have delivered thine enemies into thy hand. And he gave him tithes of all. See that? Tithes. He gave him tithes, meaning what? Offerings. And it says here in these footnotes, it says a tithe is a tenth. So even Abraham, man, it was Jacob in Genesis 28, and now in Abraham in Genesis 14, showing you that law of that 10%, man, giving your tithes or your offerings of 10%, right? Now let's go to Leviticus. Let's go to Deuteronomy, Salakia 14. Deuteronomy 14 and 22. Deuteronomy 14 and verse 22. It says, Thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of thy seed, that the field bringeth forth year by year. See that? So the tithe now is that 10%, and you're supposed to give that to the Lord year by year, man. Right? And we read about that before, going into that first fruits. Don't just give anything, but you give the best of the best. You give your first fruits, man. So we in a society where Most brothers don't have no cattle and no herbs to give to the Most High. We don't got 10 sheeps out back. We don't got 5 goats out back. We don't got that, man. Half of us is in the damn projects, right? Half of us in the projects, damn near. Half of us is in townhouses and stuff like that, man. We don't got no damn sheep to have out. But what you do is most brothers, I hope most brothers working. I hope most brothers and sisters is working, right? Whatever paycheck you get, take 10% or whatever you can afford humbly and give that to the work of the Most High, man. Either it's through your congregation or through some righteous works. Take that 10% of that money and do something positive with that, man. Give it to the ministry, right? So that's the law on 10%. You read about that as well in Leviticus, the 27th chapter, from verse 30 and 34 as well. All right, so y'all can put that in your arsenal. Let's go to Genesis, the 2nd chapter. All right, we're almost at the end of this. Yes, we are almost at the end of this thing. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, "Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the 7th day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the 7th day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the 7th day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God had created and made." See that? So that's the law on the Sabbath, right? 6 days, 6 days the Most High did his work. On the 7th day the Most High rested, right? So this is before Moses, man. This is before all that, man, right? Before Adam even was on the scene yet, right? So now let's go to Exodus 20 and 8. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8. It says, "Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it." See that? So the same way how the Most High rested on that 7th day, we have to now rest on the 7th day, right? And according to HOI's understanding, the way the elders broke it down to us, from Friday night sundown to Saturday night sundown is that Sabbath, that day of rest. I know other brothers have different breakdowns on it, but you can go to Colossians 2 and 16 for that one right there, right? So long as you rehearsing the righteous acts, man, Judges 5 and 11, right? And in due time, the Most High Yahweh Shai is going to give us the proper understanding, right? But we have to make a sincere effort, and according to the way the HOI body and the elders have taught it to us, we go by Friday night sundown to Saturday night sundown, 24-hour period. That's the Sabbath according to the way HOI sees it. Thus saith the Lord, right? So let's go to Acts 15. All right, Acts 15 and 21. Couple more scriptures and we're gonna wrap it up. Bashem Mashiach Yahushua. Hope y'all brothers and sisters have been taking notes, man. I'm about to start quizzing y'all. Acts chapter 15 and verse 21. "For Moses of old time hath in every city them that preach him, being read in the synagogues every Sabbath day." I read that again. "For Moses of old time hath in every city them that preach him, being read in the synagogues every Sabbath day." So every Sabbath day, man, we should be digging a little bit into this Bible, man. Reading some precepts, man. Reading some laws and some commandments, right? So let's get a couple precepts, man, and I'm going to close out on this one, man. Nehemiah chapter 9. So these are all of the laws. I know there's a couple others that we can get into, but these are some of the laws that I think are beneficial for us to show and understand how these particular laws were in place even before Moses came on the scene, right? Nehemiah chapter 9 and verse 12. Nehemiah chapter 9 and verse 12. It says, "Moreover, thou leadest them in the day by a cloudy pillar, and in the night by a pillar of fire, to give them light in the way wherein they should go. Thou camest down upon Mount Sinai, and spakest with them from heaven, and gavest them right judgments and true laws, good statutes and commandments, and madest known unto them thy holy Sabbath, and commandest them precepts, statutes, and laws by the hand of Moses thy servant." See that? So the Most High gave the written law unto Moses to write down, so that now we have it in written form. But before Moses got the law, all of our foremothers and forefathers knew and understood the law. And we just finished reading that from Adam, right, trickling down to Abel, and then Seth, going all the way down, right? Enoch walked with God. He had to walk with God by knowing the commandments. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, all the 12 tribes thereafter, right? Noah, all of these different all of our foremothers and forefathers, they knew about the law. Why? Because it was orally passed down from the Most High God into Adam's ears. From Adam, and through the understanding, he continued to pass it down, and they continued to pass it down likewise, to the point where now we have to pass it down to our foremothers and to our descendants going forward now, right? That's what we have to do in these last days, man, right? So with that being said, man, I think that's it on that. All of these other scriptures that I pulled out, do I got any more to give? Oh yes, last one of the day. Genesis 26 and 5. Nail in a coffin. Genesis chapter 26 and verse, let me see what I want. Genesis 26 and verse 4. "And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed and all these countries. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because that Adam obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws." See that? So that's what it's about, man, in these last days, man. So even Abraham obeyed the voice of the Lord, kept his charge, his commandments, and his laws, man. Right? So that's it on that, man. Case closed, nail in the coffin. Right? So it's your brother Ainwa Zaab, aka Humble Wolf, giving, of course, all praises, all glory, and all honor to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai. If I did my job by helping other brothers and sisters learn one thing, then humbly I've done my job through the spirit and power of the Most High God. So all praise to the Heavenly Father, man. This was the law. This is the topic called the laws were given before Moses, man. So I want to give a shalom to all the humble brothers and sisters out there in these last days. All praise to the Most High Yahushai. Shalom.